Welcome back to another episode of Spreadsheet Radio. This is Nick Kleifkes and Stephen Doman. Welcome back, Steve.
Thanks, Nick. Michigan was good. Thanksgiving was good. Lions are running on a 3-game win streak. They play tonight. Couldn't be better. Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back, Stevie. Didn't have as much luck without you on the picks last week. I went a putrid 2-4. I think it was my first week below 500, but
many more of those to come.
Many more to come. Hey, many more winning weeks and many more losing weeks to come here. So we're here with Conference Championship weekend coming up here in college football. The stretch of the NFL season is before us. The last 5 games of the season where everything, the playoff really gets determined here. Not only the NFL playoff, but now we have a college playoff. So just quickly, we want to go over the records for the year. Steve is right below 500 at 17-19. He claims he had a big week last week, but it doesn't count because he was not on the podcast.
It doesn't count on the podcast. I don't know what happened. Went home and over the span of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, ended up winning $2,000. So you might want to listen to me this week because I'm on a little bit of a heater. So
Steve's on a heater. All right. Well, don't spend all that in one place now. So I was, no, I'm not even gonna go into why I was going in. Now I'm 29-13 after last week, and then our guest Charlie was 3-1 last week. Congratulations, Chuck. Thanks for coming on. So records are pretty good overall as a podcast. We're above 500, well above 500. So just keep on listening, keep on throwing the cash to the walls, keep on throwing it at the walls, and something's gonna stick for you.
Yeah, if you picked every game, you'd be up on it.
Absolutely. So without further ado, we'll get right into the picks. So Steve's gonna start us off here. He's going on the Big Ten Championship, the biggest game, one of the biggest games of the week. It decides the playoff spot.
Yep.
So Steve, who you got?
I got Michigan State. There's not really much needed to be said here. I don't know if you guys remember, but I went to the only game that MSU lost. I'm not going to this game, so we're going to win. I don't see Michigan State losing to Iowa. Connor Cook last week looked phenomenal. They spanked a Penn State team, which everyone was saying they could be upset. I just like Michigan State to beat Iowa, beat them by, I think it's 3.5. I think they're going to cover, and I think they're going to make it into the college football playoffs.
Steve, I like Michigan State as well. I like them for a lot of reasons, but the reason that I like the best is what I like to call, and what you can only hear on this podcast, the Steve Doman effect that Michigan has. Whenever Steve goes to a game this season, they lose. I don't think that's going to happen again because Steve has no plans to return to a Michigan State football game this season. So I like the Spartans here. I like them a lot. I like their experience in the Big Ten Championship game to show, and I like it to show early and often in this one. So I like them to cover the 3.5 points.
Being played at Lucas Oil
Stadium. It's going to be a good one, but not as good as my first pick. I got my boys, the San Diego State Aztecs, laying 6 points to Air Force in the Mountain West Championship. Now this game's being played at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, home of the San Diego State Aztecs. After last week's Air Force was upset by New Mexico, San Diego had their only cover of the season in the Mountain West. They tied the cover to. They were 8-0 straight up in the Mountain West this season, 7-0-1 against the spread. They scratched last week against a Nevada team in a game where they kind of slowed down towards the end of the game, I think to save their starters for their game against Air Force coming up. So they won all their Mountain West games by at least 2 touchdowns. Their running backs Donnell Pumphrey and Chase Price have combined for over 2,300 yards on the ground. But not only that, Air Force is going to be slowed down by the San Diego State rushing defense, which ranks 4 in the nation. Not only that, this defense leads the nation in turnover margin with a +20 mark.
Wow.
So, I like San Diego State to cover here, as they have in almost every game this season in the Mountain West.
It's like a home game. I bet on Air Force. I think a couple weeks ago they might have played Boise. No, they didn't play Boise.
Yeah, I had him as a podcast pick in the Boise game. Then
they look good, and
I took them again last week against Mexico, and they screwed me. So I'm off the Air Force bandwagon. I've been riding San Diego State on the late night because their games are always like 10:30, 10:45.
Yep.
And San Diego State, this team is tough. This is my guarantee of the week. So
who is the best athlete to come out of San Diego State in the past 5 years?
I think Steven Strasburg went there.
Did he? I did not know that. I was thinking of Kawhi Leonard.
I'm pretty sure he did. Kawhi Leonard, yeah. that's good. Obviously, that's good. He's the NBA champion.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, a little fun fact for you. So my next pick, I'm going to go into, and I think we both love this, Houston -6 to the Temple Owls. This game is being played in Houston. This is for the American Conference Championship. I don't know if, I think Charlie had Navy last week. Houston looked phenomenal. I bet on Houston. I don't know if they would have been one of my picks last
Charlie.
week. But I chose Houston. I think it's -6. I think they're going to cover by a touchdown. They're going to look to cap off their phenomenal season of just one loss with conference championship, and I think they'll win by a touchdown in their hometown.
All right, so Steve, earlier in the week I agreed with you on this one. After I kind of looked into the game a little bit, Temple is riding a 9-game underdog cover streak. Not only that, Houston lost to UConn. I thought about this. If you listen to the podcast, everybody listened to last week's podcast, Spreadsheet episode 07, and I did a little analytic on the UConn defense. Absolutely atrocious.
They're atrocious. The Owls played them last week. I bet on
anyways,
Temple.
Houston lost to them 2 weeks ago. Houston lost to them 2 weeks ago. And I think Temple's going to be tough here. And I think the spread, what do you got? I got him 5.5.
I saw
Temple
6.
Keeps a close game. But Houston has a high-powered offense. They could easily run away with this game and win by 2-3 touchdowns. So I respect the pick.
It'll be a good one. I mean, it's at noon. I don't know any other better games at noon.
Yeah, it absolutely will. So my next pick, I'm going to go with the team I've been riding all year. I got my game day polo. Bowling Green -12. I will be wearing it. They're playing the Northern Illinois Huskies in the MAC championship. Quarterback Matt Johnson for Bowling Green leads the nation in passing like he did when we first made the inaugural podcast when we were still the line cooks. He led the nation then. He leads the nation now. Bowling Green is 4th in the nation. 6th in the nation in scoring. They lead the MAC conference in scoring. Now, on the other side, in the quarterback situation, some action. They've played 3 straight years in the MAC championship, alternating games, and I think this year it's Bowling Green's turn to get it. But check it out. Northern Illinois' quarterback situation. Their first and second string quarterback have gotten injured, and they are out for the season. They were starting redshirt freshman Ryan Graham, who left last week's loss against Ohio. Not sure if that's your school. Was that you guys?
No.
No, okay. Ohio University, then didn't think so.
No.
Anyways, but now they will be...
Red Hawks for life.
He will be replaced by a true freshman. Didn't even write his name down because it doesn't matter. Bowling Green -12. Do it.
I like Bowling Green. I've bet on them a few times this season. They're your boys. You got a polo. I think you got a visor too. You're all green. You're all what's their mascot?
Yeah,
the Falcons.
Falcons. Bowling Green Falcons, and they're actually.
I've actually been. Have you ever been to Bowling Green? I stopped to get Chipotle one time driving to Ohio. It's actually
never been to Bowling Green.
It's kind of a depressing school,
but I may go to grad school there. Get my MBA.
Alrighty. Well, my last pick in college, I got the Stanford Cardinal -4.5 to USC. Both these teams actually look pretty good. Last week, they're USC beating UCLA and Stanford obviously coming down. I mean, if you watched the Stanford Notre Dame game, that was a fantastic game. It was back and forth, a lot of scoring.
Oh yeah, I watched that. Stanford money line.
I mean, 30 seconds left, Notre Dame scores, and then Stanford comes down the field. They get a face mask, and they have like a 48-yard field goal to win the game. The dude makes it. And
there's been some crazy games this year, but that was the best game of the season.
It's definitely up there. That was a great game. I was rooting for Indy. It's too bad because now
you didn't like the tree, baby.
Now I had Indy +9. I had a teaser, which was a lock. But I think that the college football panel really liked that Stanford won because ND was kind of like a floater, like dealing with Oklahoma, and now that they lost, they really can't put them in. So it's kind of a boring like college football playoffs unless something crazy happens. But I like the trees in this one. I look for Kevin Hogan and McCaffrey to finish off their season with Pac-12 conference championship, and I think they're going to do it.
Yeah, so you said it's going to be a boring college football playoff unless something happens. That's something for me is going to be North Carolina upsetting Clemson in the ACC championship. If you listen to the last couple podcasts, I've been alluding to this for weeks. I've been visualizing it in my mind, all the Clemson fans crying on TV when they get beaten down by the Tar Heels and Marquise Williams. Not only that, Clemson's looked beatable. I'm not going to say bad. They've looked beatable.
I agree.
In their last 5 to 6 games,
especially last week.
While the Tar Heels, they struggled late against Virginia Tech, but other than that, they set an ACC record of 125 points in their last 2 games before that. Last week they were up 35-7 after the first quarter against NC State. So
kind of let them come back, but they still cover. I
hate Clemson. I'm a South Carolina Gamecock. I'm a graduate from there. I hate Clemson. We went 5-0 while I was there, and I think that UNC goes 1-0 this season against the Clemson Tigers.
See, when the spread came out about this game, I thought it was going to be more.
Yeah,
I really didn't think it was going to be more.
UNC plus 7.
Yeah, touchdown.
Yeah.
But it should be a good one. This game is 3:30 or is that at night?
It's a night game, late game, 8 o'clock.
We got that. We got the Spartans at night.
It's gonna be beautiful. We'll watch that at my place with the 2 TVs. So I actually have 4 college picks this week. Steve has 3 NFL games.
Yep.
So I'm gonna get into my last college pick before we dig into the NFL. Now, we have not taken an over yet on this show. I checked with my co-host here, and we're gonna go ahead and okay this. So we are now entering over-unders into the show. As our picks. So this game for me is the big show of the week. It's the best game of the week. I'm not kidding. It's going to be the most exciting game of the week. It's the Conference USA title game. The Southern Miss Gold Eagles versus the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Quarterbacks, Western Kentucky's got Brandon Dowdy with 42 touchdowns, 6 interceptions on the season. Southern Miss has Nick Mullins with 35 touchdowns and 9 picks. They've combined for 80 passing touchdowns on the season. This is the number 4 offense in Western Kentucky, averaging 44.2 points per game, and the number 9 Southern Miss offense, averaging 41.7 points per game. So I'm going to take the over 75 in this game. Last year's result resulted in, I think, like 89 or close to 100 points. So everybody bet on the over in the big show this week. Southern Miss versus Western Kentucky. It's going to be a bloodbath. Anyways, we'll now jump into the NFL here. Steve's Lions are riding a 3-game win streak. Steve
playing Thursday night against the Pack Show, and like I said, we haven't beaten the Packers in 25 years, and that is actually the last time that we've swept the Packers in a season, winning both games. So we got them tonight. If we could win out and make the playoffs, that would be amazing. After this game, we don't play another team with a winning record, so I think that I'm rooting for the Lions. Oh man, this would be great.
At home, I got a couple reasons why, other than, Dallas sucks. and the Redskins are hot. They're hot as hell.
Romo's out again.
Not only are they hot in general, they're hot at home this season. Kirk Cousins is riding a 5-game win streak at FedEx Field. He has 11 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions during that span. Dallas, on the other hand, the Tony No Romo effect. They are 0-7 straight up and 1-6 against the spread without their Hall of Fame quote, if you live in Dallas, quarterback down there.
There should be an asterisk next to that.
Yeah, so I think the Stars get their ass kicked on the road against my Redskins this week. It's gonna be fun to watch.
I think it's gonna be an old-fashioned ass whooping. No Romo. It's only 4. You guys are hot at home. I like the Redskins also.
Means a lot.
So we got $50. Lions are 4-7. Redskins are 5-6.
We are first place in our division,
and we're last place.
And we
just
never
goes to show you how shitty
we also
the
never
NFC is.
specified. We never specified whether it was wins during the regular season. So if we make the playoffs and get a win or two, I think that counts.
I agree. I'll give you that one.
That's crazy. Anyways,
So,
moving on.
I'm going to move on to my first NFL pick. I don't know if you guys watched the Seattle-Pittsburgh game. It was at 4:30 last week. What a phenomenal game. I mean, the back and forth. I mean, you'd think Seattle's defense would put up at least a little bit of a stand against the Steelers, but did you watch that game? I didn't even watch it.
Yeah.
I watched it.
So Seahawks -1. I mean, that game last week, though, I mean, it was a shootout. I expected the Steelers with a better offense to win the shootout, but it did not happen.
Russell Wilson
injuries came into play.
Well, Russell Wilson was so they're -1 against the Vikings or at Minnesota this week. Russell Wilson's coming off that 5-touchdown performance, which is probably his best of his NFL career. I think he's going to continue that against the Vikings defense. It's got a couple injuries. Simply, I think that Seattle is going to come out and, this is a must-win. Last 5 games of the season, I think they're going to win the game. The Vikings defense is allowing close to 350 to 400 total yards per game. I mean, after what Russell Wilson showed last week, I think the Seahawks get it done.
Yeah, I have this game with you coming in. We both had decided to go for a different game here. Go ahead and do your Giants pick.
The Lions just got a field goal.
So me and Steve both have big money on the Lions tonight. I borrowed a Matt Stafford jersey from Steve.
Both rocking Stafford jerseys.
Yeah, both white Stafford. Steve has 3 white Stafford jerseys.
Yes, sir.
It's unbelievable. Go ahead and get into your Giants pick.
All right, so I got the Giants at home +2.5 to the Jets. The Giants are coming off a bad loss to what did they play your boys, right? The Skins last week.
Yeah, a bad loss.
I mean, Manning had 3 picks or something. I think he had 2 or 3. I didn't watch the game.
He had 2 in the first 4 minutes of the game.
So he probably
2 great interceptions.
Probably ended up with 3. I mean, he looked terrible. I think they're going to bounce back. They're still in this hunt.
I'm not going to lie. I missed the majority of the game. We went to Laboon for my friend Olivia's birthday. There was a moment of sheer panic. We were after the first quarter had just ended. There was a moment of sheer panic amongst the men in the group when we realized that there were no TVs at Laboon. But the Skins ended up pulling it out for us, and it was a great game. I think the Skins continue to win, and your Giants pick, I think it's bad, and they continue to win.
Well, obviously you want them to lose, but I just think the Jets. I mean, the Jets are just. Revis is out again. I mean, as much as I love the passion that Fitzpatrick brings, he's still got that lingering thumb.
He's a killer. Remember that?
I think they're gonna come and bounce back at home behind their crowd, coming off 2 straight losses. One, they almost beat the Pats, which they probably should have because that was a bullshit call. But I think they're gonna beat the Jets and unfortunately give you guys more of a run for the NFC least.
All right, good luck. So I got Houston, the Houston Texans riding a 4-game straight-up win streak and against the spread into Buffalo to take on Bills Mafia. Bills Mafia has been shot up by the RICO Act lately. They are getting smashed at home and on the road. They gave up 31 points to the Kansas City Chiefs last week.
Bills suck.
The strong defense is the Houston Texans defense, giving up 8.9 points per game during their 4-game win streak.
Watt's got like 7 sacks in the past 4 games.
7 sacks in the past 4 games. The secondary is playing excellent. The offense is playing smart. And I just like this Houston Texans football team. And I like them to continue on the road getting 3 points against Buffalo. But most of the times when I bet on NFL games, I don't really care about the points. I'm betting on who I think is going to win the game.
Right.
And the points are just icing on the cake.
A kicker, yeah.
They're just in case. Safety net. Anyways, love the Texans.
I like the Texans too. Surprisingly, Brian Hoyer, Spartan alum, has looked pretty well. Like the last couple games, I mean, he's turning it around. I think
he's always been a winner, dude.
Yeah, on the Browns. He actually didn't do bad on the Browns.
Didn't do bad.
Browns are
he had a big season.
Browns are a terrible franchise, but we're not gonna get into that. You watched that Thursday night game? Kind of good for as shitty as the teams were.
Oh, yeah.
Or Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night. Yeah, I actually didn't watch it.
Good game, actually. Close.
All right, rip the Dolphins, and we forgot about this.
Yep. I got the Dolphins -4 at home to the Ravens. I mean, the Dolphins have looked shitty this season, but I mean they got talent. They're playing just banged up, and I mean that's not even the right word to use because Flacco's out, Forset's out, Steve Smith's out, Terrell Suggs. I mean I'm not betting on Matt Schaub, okay? I think at home the Dolphins, I mean they're gonna have some pride and win this game.
I mean a lot of people didn't bet on Matt Schaub last week and they were wrong.
Yeah, but it's also the Browns. I ain't bet on the Browns. Never bet on the Browns.
Never bet on the Browns. If you can learn anything from this podcast, never bet on the Browns.
And funny thing is, the Browns had 2 wins, and one of their wins is against the Ravens, and that was when they had Flacco. So I think the Dolphins get it done here. I think Tannehill. I mean, they're somewhat healthy, other than like Cameron Wake is hurt. I think Rashad Matthews, wide receiver, is out. But I think at home, Dolphins win by a touchdown. And I think it's pretty easy for them.
All right. Well. That's going to be the worst game of the week. I don't even have any fantasy players in it. Probably not even going to know who wins the game.
This is coming from the guy who picked the Southern Miss Western Kentucky.
That's a quality, So anyways, now that Steve brings up college football, we have saved the best for last. Basically the championship game of the college football season. Hopefully you're still listening because we still have the SEC championship to talk about. We got Alabama, the Crimson Tide, the future champions of this season's college football playoff, taking on the Florida Gators in Atlanta, in the Georgia Dome, in the SEC championship game. Steve, who you got?
So I don't know if I touched on this. Last week I won $2,000. I said that? I already said that. I like saying it so much. Yes. One of the games was Alabama -14.5. I had in a parlay to win 900.
Love it.
And 4th and 1, they very luckily just Travis Henry breaks it up for a touchdown. They end up winning by 16. That was late in the game. Now it's 17.5. I think Alabama no doubt wins the game. I mean, Auburn's no good. Auburn is not very good, and neither is Florida, especially with their quarterback out and a few other injuries. It's a lot of points, but if I were to go one way, you can't bet on Florida. You just can't. I think Alabama could win by 3 touchdowns.
All right, change your tune a little bit from our pregame talk. So, I thought you were taking Florida. You're not.
No, I'm not gonna take Florida.
Fuck Florida. All right, we got Alabama crushing Florida this week. There's absolutely no way.
Maybe I just
Florida
thought
comes
about
anywhere
Florida.
close.
Talked about it.
Last year in this game, was it last year's 42-21 loss for Florida? No, it was in Tuscaloosa last year. They got manhandled. You keep saying without their quarterback. No, they have Trayon Harris. Well, you know what? Trayon Harris has been getting rocked lately. He's got 22. He's been sacked 22 times in the last 6 games. He's only completing 53% of his passes. Trayon Harris cannot stay up, especially against this Alabama defensive front. They're leading the nation, only surrendering 79 yards per game on the ground, and they have 41 sacks, which is also top 5 in the nation.
Yeah, they're going to murder.
Yeah, they are going to absolutely murder Florida. It's 18 points. It's a big spread. It's the biggest Florida has been an underdog against an SEC opponent since 1979, when they were 20-point underdogs against who else? The Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama won that game 40-0. So I think I expect a similar result this week, and I like Alabama to roll the Gators.
The only thing about this game is they're going to go run heavy. They gave, Henry 40 carries, 40 touches last week, and
break one,
and that could run down
every 5 carries.
That's true. I mean, you could run with him every single time.
I mean, you think you thought he was going to score on that last carry that totally screwed everybody, including yours truly, with that last touchdown run that covered the spread?
I wanted to give him a big hug.
Yeah, Yeah, I wanted to punch him in the face.
But anyway, it should be a good weekend.
It's going to be a great weekend.
Glad to be back.
Steve, glad to have you back. Thank you for listening here. We're going to watch this Lions game. So,
Up 3-0.
Lions +3 now.